Hello there today, everyone, and we will be reviewing another. Okay, yeah. I bet you're pretty excited for these. I'm not joking. I will be right here. The next that we want to have right on my hand is a Gundam, and the new two bottom ones for the last two for the last week. It's gonna be model kits. So with that, I didn't buy enough Transformers for that timing. I mean, one of them is a knockoff of two different things, which I am excited about to talk about. But anyways, we're gonna be talking about the IBO barbatos eighth form, and I bought four of these. You may ask, well, where did the box at? I broke them down and put in one box because I made all four forms, and I did paint the chainsaw weapon thing on each one of them. There my bin. You can't see I have a bin of every single weapon that is separated from grade. I bought four of these, and I got them from all different places. I will be here. Some on Amazon and one of the box of Watch Rush, so I didn't care about that part. So hey, it makes my job makes it easier. I will put out a description for you in case you want to buy this figure. And I will say, all four forms they have the same articulation, but I'm going to talk about the first form and eighth form because and the two forms in the middle I will talk about because there are only slight differences. Slight, not like a full difference, but the eighth form it's a little more different because you have more parts for it to cover it up. But let's look. Now, as you see here, all four forms. I'm gonna be honest here. It's the number seven that's so confusing because this is the first form. Okay, this is the third form. Okay, this is the fourth form. Okay, this is the sixth form. Where's two and where's five? You need buy alternate parts to make though. Okay, if you have the other barbatos, either you got the original one, one they come with the little arm shield thing, or you buy other kits to make them into the other fifth form and third form or second form. Two for the short pieces. I'm like, you need to buy more than one at the same. You need to buy different kits basically to make it accurate. So we're looking at them out of the box, and I did do all the work for these. So I did paint these. I did do all the work on these. The back of these. And these are all painted in them. Same thing with the toes. Same thing with the head parts. Same thing with the chest. So everything on here you will see. So the shoulder pieces, right here, painted. Stick marker, painted the big shoulder pieces. And I will say, they do give you these weapons parts for like add-ons, which makes sense. So you have this back rocket thing. I don't know what it is fully. It's easier to head on for this. So I'm gonna use the first form for a reason because I think it's easier to. Structure wise, Eddie, this thing does hold in really tight, so it won't come out. Thank God. It does have some posability, only one to flip upwards. Makes sense. Then you also have I want to say launchers, but they do need to groove in. So as you can see right here in the arm, they do have a groove. So you can see, yeah, there's a groove right there. And since you find it, you just put it in. Well, it should go in. Sometimes it's not that easy to get them in. It is not the easiest sometimes. But you have patience. and you can get them in. They actually look decent. Now, the main difference is between the first, third, and fourth. It's technically no shorter pieces, but they do shorter pieces for the third and fourth. Same things on all of these. So technically, they use basically the same stuff, but they do give you the extra feet for the sixth form. So that is pretty good though. Articulation made the same thing as the original Baruto, so there's no differences at all on the road here. So I mean, it doesn't matter anyway because they use the same frame. And I didn't know my work. Double twin arms like usual. This does move, so you can have the shorter pieces move out of the way because you need them to. Double twin leg like usual. Foot is on its pivot thing. If I go down that far. However, I don't think it does that with the six horns foot because in this one it's really flat. It can go pretty far back, which is actually pretty good. And this does bend up in case you want to do certain poses, which I kind of like. And I did cut these parts in the middle, so I made them more easier in case you want to pose them in certain specific poses. And I will say it did look good. And if I could really just get this thing in. Okay. Shit. Okay. All there really is difference is the chest piece. These do come off easily, so they're not permanent on there. And also, this one right here like to come off so much more easier, and I don't know why. So it makes it super annoying when I want to like really work with it. I think because since this part is so freaking massive, it does have its problems. See, because certain parts are way too loose for it to really go in and out. I will say I do like the third form better because the chest piece is not that big and it's not that like bulky compared to the original one or the first one right here. It's not that bulky, but comparing it to this one right here, it's too thinly too long out. If that makes any sense. I mean, technically it would be like this if you want to be honest here. Now with the sixth form, I'll get at this one real quick. This one does have a new shorter pieces, which it does use the upper part of the same joints. And these do move up and down, so these parts are all separate, which is actually really good. It does use, I want to say it's emulating the same feet as like as a lupus, but not really. But the feet do go fully down. But I will say the thing is a little more stranger because since these part here you do need to use a sticker. I just painted it because I think it looks more better. If that makes sense. I did have the right blue at the time, and I'm not going to change it because there's too much time to. And it does have a new script piece. These new side things. These are not as bad as they look. So they do go either way. So if you want to pose them, I think I get to go off. These do are just their own thing, and you do have to put a sticker on this part. I painted it. Yeah, I go above and beyond what I need to. I will say the only issue the kit really has is these little joints for the skirt because they're so fucking annoying to deal with at the time. Okay. They just have problems of like falling apart on you when you like want to like pose it. That's the only issue with it. And the chainsaw accident, I don't know what it's called. Sorry. I'm gonna take it with the hand because it's so much more easier. The thing does have a lot of movement. It does have a lot more range, so it does open that wide. and it does scoot down, so the close up. But I think it's really cool. It looks like a what's it called, like a T-Rex head. That makes sense because like with it, it looks like one. And I did use a marker because I am not gonna waste a lot of time working on them. And it is a good sized weapon too. This is the only weapon you do get, so that's the issue with it. You only get one weapon with this. I wish it came in something else. I mean, yeah, they do give you the cannons and stuff, but the original Bartos was given two weapons. In case you didn't want the mace, you could go for the sword, which I don't like the mace for me, in my opinion. I just don't like how it looks. I'll be right here, one. But yet again, these frames aren't really showing their age over time. They are flimsy when it comes to certain things. So that's the issue with them, with this. Let's do some size comparisons. Well, let me just put the arms back on so it won't look heinous. And also, if you hear my fan, because it is super hot here with this awful heat. I can tell right now I am burning up, and it's like I think it's like 80. Oh god, these skirts. So we're gonna do. Shit. Okay. The weapon is sometimes too heavy when it comes to certain poses. So trying to pose it is even more nightmarish to deal with. Walking our hands out today. It does. These feet are way too spindly for me, especially the last form. It is way too not my liking. I'll be honest here, because like it's so many parts that come. It feels like it can come loose on you when you try to pose it. So here it is next to Commander Cybertron, aka Third Party Prime. Here is it next to the RX the that's to the Origin. Oh, man. Here is Blur from the Speed something Volatron series. I don't know. And here's the Barbatos the Barbatos Rex. I will say I would show off all of them, but I don't feel like grabbing on them anyways. I mean, they're not that hard for me, but I just don't want to try to do with trying to post them and stuff like that. So let's get to my final thoughts. Now, should you really get this kit? I mean, yes, for one or another reason. I will say the parts are easy to read to change out. They're as easy as to change out. You don't really need to go out and do what I did and buy 4 of them. Buy one, build one variant, and then if you don't like that variant, okay, make another variant. You don't really need to have like the money behind to say, okay, I want to spend another $20 to buy the same kit you already have. But I will say, in between those 1 and 6 forms, there is a good amount of things to make it a good kit. Is there a fully good kit ready there? I mean, kind of. However, when you go with the 6th form being so bulky, with the shoulder pieces, but the arm being so weak, the skirt pieces being a little too loose for my liking, that's a actual problem because you really can't do a lot of poses with it. Because that means you will need to put it into these smaller forms, which means you need to put it in the 4th form, 3rd form, or 1st form to get the one to make sure it stands properly. And the weapon is, I think, too top heavy in the front for the mouth. It's like it is cool, don't get me wrong. However, since it's so top heavy, That's where the problem lies. Because that means if you can make a stand, it is possible, but it's a lot of feeling to get it done to make sure the kid looks fantastic in a certain pose. I can't see myself really saying, okay, I want to make it look good. That where the issue lies within the figure. So, what do you think? Like and subscribe on Discord. Everything is in my link tree. Should be in the description as well. In case you want to know where I am on social media or whatever else I am doing, I will probably film another 2 reviews, and then I'm probably just going to do whatever else, and then gonna buzz right off them. Yeah, peace out.